Good morning, student. I, Rashmi ma'am, is again back with your online classes, or you can say online session for class 7. Subject is biology. Now, student, we were in chapter 2, in which we were reading about the phylum, and we have completed our kingdom Monera. What we have completed? We have completed our kingdom Monera, in which we have read about the types, their structure, and now we are moving towards the nutrition of the kingdom Monera. Now some are autotrophic, that is they synthesize their own food from inorganic substances. They could be phototrophs or chemotrophs. A large majority of them are heterotrophs. They do not prepare their own food but depend on the other organism or the dead. So the nutrition should be by inorganic substances, or it may prepare their own food by depending on the organism or the dead. Reproduction in kingdom Monera will be binary fission, but under favorable condition they reproduce through spore formation also. The bacterial spores can withstand extreme condition and germinate under favorable conditions and become active cells again. Now there are some harmful and useful bacteria also. Now bacteria play a very important role in our lives. Bacteria can be categorized as harmful or useful based on the application related to daily life. Now there should be the bacteria are microscopic organisms that can survive in diverse environment. They can be beneficial as well as harmful. They possess a simple structure without a nucleus and a few organelles. The bacteria are surrounded by two protective coverings, the outer cell wall and the inner cell membrane. Some bacteria are also covered by a capsule. Few bacteria like Mycoplasma do not have a cell wall. Short whip-like extensions known as pili surround the surface of the bacteria. The long whip-like structures are known as flagella. Now, this was the bacteria. Now, many of the bacteria are being in this diverse environment. Now, the shapes of the bacteria and the kingdom Monera is also classified into three sub-kingdoms: Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and Cyanobacteria. Now the bacteria, those who are harmful, they are termed as pathogen, and those who are useful, they are known as useful. जैसे like that Lactobacillus, Bacillus and Paenibacillus. Harmful bacteria also live in the bodies of the host organism and causing disease by producing waste product like toxin. For example, your Mycobacterium tuberculosis causes tuberculosis. Salmonella typhi causes typhoid. As like useful bacteria, cyanobacteria helps in nitrogen fixation and Escherichia coli aids in digestion. So this was the kind and the thing which we have to use, or the things which we have to be classified in the kingdom Monera, and this is what in your book it has been given: common diseases caused by various bacteria. Now the first is Bacillus anthracis. This causes anthrax disease. Clostridium tetani, tetanus. Clostridium botulinum, botulism. Helicobacter pylori, gastritis and peptic ulcer. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, tuberculosis. Mycobacterium leprae, leprosy. So these are the Salmonella typhi, typhoid. Vibrio cholera, cholera. Streptococcus pneumonia, pneumonia. And the last Treponema pallidum, syphilis. These are the harmful bacteria which cause different kind of disease in our body. Some are useful bacteria also. Bifidobacterium inhibits the growth of pathogenic bacteria by controlling pH level in intestine. Bacillus and Paenibacillus preparing antibiotics. Cyanobacteria, nitrogen fixation in aquatic habitat. Escherichia coli aids in digestion. Lactobacillus acidophilus supports healthy digestive system. Lactobacillus only helps in the formation of milk from yogurt. Now, lactic acid and acetic acid bacteria making probiotics that help in digestion and related problems. Rhizobia fixes atmospheric nitrogen including ammonia and makes it available for plants. Streptomycins used in making antibiotics play an important role in soil ecology. Now, different types of bacteria. Bacteria can be possess the following different shapes. Koki, as it has been given in your book. Koki bacteria are spherical or oval in shape. These can be Micrococcus, Diplococcus and Tetracoccus, Streptococcus and Staphylococcus. Means what? Micrococcus in single, Diplococcus in pairs, Tetracoccus in four, Streptococcus in chains and Staphylococcus in cluster like grapes. They can be found. Now bacilli. These are rod shaped bacteria with or without flagella. They are rod shaped bacteria. They can be with flagella or without flagella. Vibrios. These are comma or kidney shaped small bacteria with flagella at one end. They are comma or kidney shaped. Spirillum. These are spiral or coiled shaped. They are rigid forms due to the spiral structure and bears flagella at one or both the ends. Filament. The body consists of small filaments like fungal mycelia. Stalk. The bacteria possesses a stalk. Birded. The body of bacteria is swollen at places. So these were the shapes of the bacteria, and our kingdom Monera is divided into three subgroups, that is Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, these are also known as blue-green algae. Eubacteria are known as true bacteria. The cell wall is rigid and made up of peptidoglycans. And Archaebacteria, these are the most ancient bacteria found in the most extreme habitats such as salty area, hot springs and marshy areas. Now moving towards, so student, please learn the table 2.1 and table 2.2 for the more information gained by you in the types or the common diseases caused by bacteria or the useful for the bacteria. Now we are going to start our second kingdom, that is kingdom Protista or Protocista or Protist. There should be kingdom Protista, kingdom Protist, or it should be Protista. Now what are protists? Protists are simple eukaryotic organisms that are neither animals, plants nor fungi. Protists are unicellular in nature, or they can be found as a colony of cells. Most protists live in water, damp, terrestrial environments, or even as parasites. Now what are protists? Protists are simple eukaryotic organisms. Simple eukaryotic organisms that are neither animals, plants nor fungi. Protists are unicellular in nature, or they can be found as a colony of cells. Most protists live in water, damp, terrestrial environments, or even as parasites. Now the kingdom Protista we are going to start. The term Protista is derived from the Greek word protistos. From where it has been derived? the Greek word protistos, meaning the very first. What does it mean? Protista means the very first. These organisms are usually unicellular, and the cell of these organisms contain a nucleus which is bound to the organelles. Some of them even possesses structures that aid locomotion like flagella or cilia. So the term protista means the very first. These organisms are usually unicellular, and the cell of these organisms contain a nucleus which is bound to the organelles. Now this group includes many kinds of unicellular eukaryotic organisms with well defined nucleus such as unicellular algae, protozoans and unicellular fungi, Omycota and the slime molds. Some of these organisms are appendages such as hair like cilia, example paramecium, or whip like flagellum, example euglena. Their mode of nutrition can be autotrophic, example unicellular algae, diatoms, or heterotrophic, example protozoans. Examples unicellular algae, cholera, Clydomonas, diatoms, and protozoans. So these are the types of their nutritions. Scientists speculate that protists form a link between plants and animals and fungi, as these three kingdoms diverged from a common protist like ancestor billions of years ago. Thus, though this protist like ancestor is a hypothetical organism, we can trace some genes found in modern animals and plants to these ancient organisms. Scientists, they speculate that protists form a link between plants and animals and fungi, and these three kingdoms diverged from a common protist like ancestors billions of years ago. Though this protist like ancestor is a hypothetical organism, so we can trace these genes found in the modern animals and plants to these ancient organisms. So this was the introduction about the kingdom Protista. These kingdoms traditionally considered as the first eukaryotic forms of life and a predator to plants, animals and fungi. Now, characteristics of kingdom Protista. Now we are going to read about the characteristic feature of kingdom Protista. Over here you can see the picture of Paramecium and the picture of Euglena. In Euglena you can find that it has a membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, nucleus, nucleolus, chloroplast, Golgi apparatus, contractile vacuole, and this long tail-like structure that is called flagellum. So this is the Euglena, and in Euglena all the things, nucleus, nucleolus, chloroplast, flagellum, contractile vacuoles, mitochondria, all these things we can find that. Now what should be the characteristics of kingdom Protista?